All right. So, for those of you guys who don't know, I'm not really all that great at social media. I'm learning and I'm getting better, I think, but it's just not really first nature to me. I never really grew up with it. I got my first social media last year. I got an Instagram last year, made this YouTube a couple months ago, and now I'm starting to kind of get in the groove, but it's difficult. And I think the real kicker for me has been the whole short form content thing. I don't really interact with short form content on a daily basis. It's just not really how I like to consume. I don't have any issues with it necessarily. It's not my thing. It never has been. But I kind of understand that short form content is the primary tool for discovery used definitely on Instagram and kind of YouTube at this point. Like, short form content is your barrier for entry as just kind of a creative in general. So if I want to get my novels out there and if I want to get my work out there, I kind of have to play ball. I have to learn how to do this stuff. And I came to that realization probably about a week ago. I've talked a little bit about it on this channel. The issue is I don't really know what I would do. And I need something sustainable that is not going to make me sick to my stomach or just really be unenjoyable and pervert this craft that I love so much, and also maintain my artistic integrity. I think that is of paramount importance to me. I don't think that short form content is going to do anything against that. The issue is just my work, quite frankly, doesn't lend itself towards short form content. I mean, I am an author. Like, this novel took me, years to write, and each drawing I do takes me hours, if not hundreds of hours, and so I didn't really know how exactly I was supposed to broach into that space. I can't post like a new drawing every week because I don't finish a drawing a week. I don't get close to finishing a drawing a week, and I can't really speed that process up because it would just be perverting my craft. So I think that I've figured it out, though. At least I think that I've got a fun idea that I'm gonna start doing, and I guess that's just what I wanted to share today. So, like, for the first time ever, I am going to be selling my artwork. I am going to sell my artwork in kind of an auction, like, bidding style format. So what I'm going to start doing is, for my short form content, I am going to start posting like maybe bi-weekly updates of like whatever piece I'm doing, and at the end of me finishing that piece, I will give it to the highest bidder. I've got an auction plugin that I'm setting up on my website right now. All of the pieces that I'm going to do are going to be like setting pieces or character art or something about my novels. I think the reason that I want to do that is to get people interested in talking about my novels. I want my art to feed people to my novels, and I want my novels to feed people to my artwork. That's my marketing strategy as a completely alone indie author. And so I think that it'll be kind of fun. A lot of people have asked for versions of my map. This is the map of my world. I really enjoy it, and a lot of other people seem to enjoy it as well. There's been people who have asked for prints of the art that's in the novel itself, and I'm not doing prints yet. Maybe I'll do that at some other point, but I think that doing hyper-realistic, interpretive pieces set within my own world could be really engaging for an audience, and somebody gets to have the piece. And, it's also going to challenge me as an artist to really nail down some of the technical stuff. Like most of you guys know, I travel for work all the time. I'm always gone. I'm almost never drawing in this office. Anytime I'm drawing on this office, I'm really like just kind of pretending to, for like my very small online audience. I will sit down here at the end of the night and, drink a glass of scotch and get some drawing done. But for the most part, I'm drawing like in my sketchbook, like, on the road, and it's great. I love it. It's, you know, a habit that I think it's why I'm as good as I am. The issue with it is, like, you have stuff like this. You know, the pages get coffee and mud spilled on them, like they have frayed edges. They're not very marketable to a consumer if I wanted to sell an original piece. And they're also kind of out of context. I mean, it's not like, you know, the picture I just showed you, it's of an old man, like just a random normal size sheet of paper, old man posted on your wall. It's not very marketable. But if I start doing like big pieces like this, like really fun, in-depth, giant pieces for my novels, it'll get people speaking about my novels. I can post it for discovery. I can have fun because, like, I'm doing professional pieces again, which is really not something I've done since I've been in high school. Like, it's been like 10 years since I really was doing professional oriented pieces, and it'll be a fun way for me to kind of dip back into that and really, really be intentional about some of these pieces. Like, it's been a little bit more stressful doing all of the artwork for my novels and stuff. You know, I should have marked the page, but if any of you have read my book or are reading my book, it's got like character art that I drew all by myself inside of it. And like with those pieces, I had to be hyper intentional about not letting them get rained on or like stuff spilled on it, even though I was working on those pieces at work as well. But with this, if I just keep it in my office and like I really, really work towards this stuff, especially since I have some off time at work right now, I think it could be something super fun. It's something that I will enjoy, and maybe it'll hook an audience. I don't know. Like I said, I'm still figuring out this whole social media stuff, but I think that this is going to be the way forward for short form content, at least for me, for it. I mean, I guess at least the near future. Yeah, you know, I think that's, I've had such a severe aversion to social media for the majority of my life. And it's not for any particular reason. It's just, I felt like if I got sucked into the hole of like consuming social media, then I wouldn't have the time to be productive, to like to write my novels and to work on my art. And I you know, I didn't want to like be tempted by all of that to like kind of slip into apathy. And I've been hesitant towards like social media on like the creator spectrum just because I didn't want it to pervert my craft. You know, I figured if I like started posting things online and I started doing pieces that got a severe reaction one way or the other, it would alter the way that I approached my art. And I never really wanted that to happen. And that might be a little bit of an extreme measure to preserve my artistic integrity. But it's just, you know, it's what I've done. And now that I'm engaging with the platform, I am happy to say that it's not nearly as daunting as I thought it was going to be. There's still elements of that I'm trying to navigate, but I think that one of the things that I've been kind of hypocritical about over the course of this past year is I tell a lot of people that, you know, in 2025, it's so easy. Not so easy, it requires a lot of work, but there's no more hard barriers to entry as far as being a published author goes. You might have no resources or marketing background or really anything on your side. I sure as hell didn't, but you can still do it. The only reason, though, that indie authors are surging in the way that we are right now is because of social media sites, is because you can kind of generate a platform out of nothing. And it's a little bit hypocritical for me to be like hyper skeptical about creators using these platforms to, you know, for I guess for any reason. And, you know, and it's like, I'm going on an internal pedantic rant right now, and I apologize for that, except, you know, if you're one of the 25 to 50 people that watch my videos, you're probably used to that. But it's just not that bad of a thing, and I'm starting to kind of learn that at the ripe age of 28 years old as an artist. I'm just figuring out that like I can post my stuff on social media and maintain my artistic integrity. And I don't even know why I spent so long thinking that that was going to be hard to do, because I learned everything I know about art by art I saw on the internet, by artists that put their stuff out there on these platforms. Like, it's, you know, I don't know, maybe I was just like worried about my own internal monster. I don't know what the deal is with that, but long story short is I'm going to start selling my art. It's going to be like probably one piece a month, and that might be a fast timeline to hit. It'll be going to the highest bidder, and it's just going to be artwork about my books, you know? It's going to be artwork about my books and about my world. Yeah. If it's something that's interesting to you, the bidding starts at $0. Maybe place a bid. Link to my book is in the description. You guys have an excellent night.